Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Coinsider live stream. My name is Josh. I'm here with my partner, Kevin, my amazing partner. We're here every single Friday, bringing you crypto alpha, bringing you crypto news. So be sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video today, because we're going to be going over a lot of interesting topics that happened over the week in crypto. But as you know, first and foremost, just to get the formalities out of the way, how does our mics sound? Mic test 1 2 1 2.
I think yours sounds great, but if the chat can let us know, that'd be great. Mic test 1 2. This is Kevin. I'm in the follower role today, or the guest role today. Josh is leading, so let's have it. Let's have a great stream and talk about some exciting crypto news, some huge hot takes and hot topics.
Yes, indeed. So as you guys can tell from the title, we're asking ourselves today, is the crash over? Right? So Kevin, I have some questions for you. Like, do you think we've topped, or are we in the loading zone for the next leg up? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's get Kevin in right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin price. What have we been doing? So right now we're on the weekly time frame, and I drew this line earlier, this trend line. It's actually more of like a channel line, I like to call it, because as you can see, for the last, let's see, 2, 4, 6, for the last over 12 weeks, we've been trading in this range here from a low of 60K to a high of 72K. And so hold on, that's just my fridge sound.
Oh, no worries. There you go.
Pardon me. All right. So that being said, Kevin, do you think this is a loading zone here, or have we already seen the market top? I'm seeing people on Twitter go both ways. What are you thinking right now in this market? What are you seeing, Kevin?
You need to go. Oh, okay. So that is a great chart you drew. It's a very clear range that we've been in for quite some time, several months at least. And yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I think if I'm to be honest, there's reasons to be bearish and there's reasons to be bullish at the same time. It's really hard to say, in my opinion. I've been feeling bearish personally. However, I do realize that there's several big reasons to be bullish, like you've said in the past, the ETH ETF. But more importantly, outside the crypto space, there is the upcoming elections, which may really change things for the U.S. crypto space, depending on what happens there, and also rate cuts from the Fed. So if that happens as well, then yeah, that would eventually be a huge boon to risk assets, because right now rates are high and that's affecting everything. That's not only affecting crypto, it's affecting the stock markets, besides Nvidia, of course. It's affecting the tech industry. The tech industry is having like its own little recession.
That's right.
So yeah, that eventually it's going to have to come down, and when it does, I think it will eventually be great for risk assets. But is that going to be soon? I don't know though. That short term, I'm still bearish. Medium term, long term, I'm bullish though. So
Long-term
that's
bullish.
long term, as in like a year time frame.
Fair to
But
say.
I guess we'll see. What about you?
Well, me personally, as you know, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it sure rhymes, right? So one of the old tried and true catalysts in all of crypto and all of Bitcoin is, of course, the Bitcoin halving, right? We forget that just 2 months ago we had our Bitcoin halving, and you don't really hear much talk about it. But if when in doubt, zoom out, as I like to say. So if we go ahead and look at the very first halving, November 28th of 2012, within the first 12 months, right, Bitcoin went from $12 to $1,075. And then we fast forward to the second Bitcoin halving, which was in July 9th, 2016. Again, within that 12 months, we saw 650 to 2,500 plus. And in the third halving, some more bullish price action within that 12 first months of the halving. We're still within the first 3 months of the halving. And this cycle is behaving a lot different than previous cycles, because we have many other bullish catalysts. You know, crypto and Bitcoin is truly a global asset now. You have entire countries, you have, you know, financial institutions, you have Wall Street involved now. We have Bitcoin ETF out. We have ETH ETF coming very, very soon. So the amount of bullish catalysts, you know, paired in with some of our historic catalysts like the halving, I remain bullish for this cycle. And quite personally, I drew these lines here, but I do think this is a potential loading zone. I wouldn't say this is the dip. We could go lower. You know, you have to always analyze critically. Like, there is downside here. However, this range has been holding up very strong. And I think that if we do close the weekly, right now I'm on the 1 week time frame. I think if we can close this weekend with a green candle, we could potentially see the next leg up, because we have all sorts of catalysts going on that we're going to get to in the rest of the show.
Yep.
Just like the Ethereum ETF, as you sort of touched on for a little bit. But now there's one thing that I really want to touch on, which is the Sol ETF, right? So I'm not sure if you know, Van Eck actually just filed for the Sol ETF. I believe it was just 2 shows ago, Kevin and I were speculating and chopping it up like, oh, the ETH ETF, this is the beginning. You know, next comes the Sol ETF, and then who knows, the Cosmos ETF, and so on and so forth, right? So now what seemed like a little bit of a pipe dream, like, okay, we said it could take a couple years. Just less than a month later, we're seeing Van Eck file for a Solana ETF, and Sol actually responded with a nice little 8% jump on the charts. I have the Sol chart here as well. We'll let TradingView load up there. But what are your thoughts on the Solana ETF? Do you think this is just kind of hype for the market, or do you think this is something that's legit? What are your thoughts on this narrative, on this news here?
Yeah, so I read some very interesting analysis on that. Yeah. And people were saying, because just because you filed doesn't mean like it's expected to get approved, right?
That's right.
Like you can just file, just like take a shot, shoot your shot, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And people say that's what they're doing here, because there's a lot of analysis that says like BTC and ETH were the only ones to get approved because they had futures trading on like CME or and stuff before the spot product. And by the way, you want to go back? You're currently sharing your other screen.
Ooh. Chrome has been giving me issues all day today. I'm sorry,
yeah,
guys.
right here.
Go ahead and
back again. Okay. They said that Solana is still unlikely to get an ETF. However, because the presidency may change, and then if just say Trump wins and say he puts in like Hester Pierce as the SEC chair, she's much more friendly to the crypto space. And under such an agency, such an SEC, maybe they don't need a futures product in order to approve a spot ETF. And in that case, Van Eck may be the first one to get approved because they filed the earliest. So people are saying that they're just taking a gamble right now for the Sol ETF. And if things change, then they may be the first ones to get approved. But as of right now, based on how the SEC has acted up to this point, it's unlikely because there's no futures product. And I believe the futures exchanges said they don't have any plans to list a Sol futures product as well. That's my take on it. So I still think it's quite a while until a Sol ETF will even come to fruition. However, I do think it is potentially likely in 2025 or 2026. Okay. 2025 more likely. Let's say it doesn't take 2 years.
Right. That's around the ranges that we were saying last time. And I mean, that is a good take. They're just shooting their shot. Just because an ETF was filed for doesn't mean it's approved, doesn't mean it's live, so on and so forth. But it's cool to see, you know, that sort of motion being taken, and that sort of action being taken towards the altcoins. Let's say in a perfect world, Kevin, in a perfect world where the Solana ETF is approved, everyone's excited. What does that mean for the altcoin market, Kevin?
It means effing Dogecoin and Shiba Inu may have an ETF in the future. That means everything. I think that's what some people are like mad at the SEC for caving on Bitcoin and ETH.
Yeah.
I forget if it was like Jim Cramer or somebody was like, why don't you give like Dogecoin an ETF or like some other random? He said some random name.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, moving on. So I guess we're gonna keep our eye on that. Of course, we're gonna keep you guys all up to date with everything to do with that. But moving right along, we have, of course, the ETH ETF, which is something that is a lot more concrete and that we could be seeing early July. So let me take it back to my screen really quick. So we have the ETH ETF here, and Ethereum's price kind of been also trading in a little bit of a channel. Let's jump over to the hourly chart.
By the way,
here and take a look at ETH.
I am going to share with you the video of Jim Cramer talking about it was the Bonk ETF. I shared it in the private chat in StreamYard. So if you go back to StreamYard and go to the private chat, you'll see the link. And if you put it on, you'll see.
All right, I'll throw this up. Let's take.
When you press screen share, did you press like share application audio too?
Let me just make sure of that. I believe so.
Because then we can watch it together
and listen in. Let me know if you can hear it.
Well, you're not sharing the screen yet, though.
Yeah, hold on. Audio or no audio?
No audio.
That is too bad. Let me see if I can quickly change this. Kevin, do you know a quick sort of setting I toggle for that? I'm not sure for the audio.
You say stop share screen.
Okay.
Start share screen again. Click on tab. Click on this tab, and then toggle on share the tab audio.
I see it. To share audio, share a tab instead. All right.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to watch this. This is quite interesting.
All right, let's have a look.
Okay, but
you are not. Yeah, hold on.
Okay, now put the sound.
No. Put the sound should be enabled.
No, the sound on the Twitter thing, like down.
Yeah.
Yeah, put that all the way up. Perfect.
Should we have a sushi swap with maybe an ETF or the proprietary kind? Just I would think that Bonk is a natural and osmosis. These are trading Garrett. These are millions of dollars. These things are traded. Shouldn't we have it? Shouldn't we have some sort of product? No. Should we have a sushi swap?
Yeah, that's good.
We heard Bonk in there.
Yeah. See, that's what you asked. What's the future for altcoins? Maybe we'll have a Bonk ETF. Maybe we'll have a sushi swap osmosis ETF, just like Jim Cramer said.
That's funny.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that'd be overkill.
Right.
And honestly, yeah, I guess people should have the freedom to have whatever they want in their portfolios, but it seems like that is going to be crazy, like Wild West, if there's a ETF for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily like a bullish catalyst. I see for the huge ecosystems, right? Like Solana, of course, that makes a lot of sense. It'd be cool to see a Cosmos ecosystem ETF one day, and so on and so forth. But when we get into the bonks and stuff like that, I think he's just trolling. He's just clowning.
He is trolling. Yeah, he's trying to make a point that because he doesn't like crypto, so he's trying to make a point that it's getting too far, essentially.
Right. Yeah, so I'm still in first Cramer all the way. Always in first Cramer. So whatever he's saying, I'm the opposite way. So yes, ETH ETF, we can see that trading as soon as July, early July. And what do you think that means for the market, Kevin?
Hopefully that's a great timing for more upside, because right now we're in a waiting period. Hopefully it's going to bring a lot of inflows, a lot of steady inflows to ETH. Or at least some baseline inflows, and that'll raise ETH over 4,000. is my guess. Hopefully new all-time highs for ETH. What's the ETH all-time high, by the way? It's like 4,300 or something like that.
Yes, we're actually not too far away. I can go ahead and
Yeah, you can go back to your original share window screen or whatever you're doing.
yeah, I had it this way, so we can pop back over to the ETH chart. Do you have a time frame you want to see in particular? We can go ahead and look at the
Or if you just go to like CoinMarketCap ETH, then
just
you can,
just ETH all time high.
yeah, ETH, or you can tell from here, I guess.
We can tell from right here. So yeah, like as you said, 48. We had a small wick up to
Oh wow, okay, it was
almost
higher than I
49.
expected.
Yes,
Dang.
and trading similar to BTC. We are still in this range, heading towards there. Do you think the ETH ETF can be a major catalyst to get ETH to all-time highs again?
I hope so. I think it does depend on what the rest of the markets is doing. Like we said last time, all eyes on Nvidia. Actually, that's something I wanted to say because someone in the comments wrote, what are you talking about? NASDAQ is at an all-time high. Yes, but that's because it's being carried by Nvidia. And now that Nvidia is correcting, if it keeps going down, then that's not good for most risk assets and the rest of the stock markets. So Nvidia dropped quite a bit from 140 to 120. And now it's kind of just chilling. But no, it's the first one. The first one, not that one. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, there was quite a big correction, and when that correction happened, crypto also kind of crashed. You see that recent like drop?
Yep.
Now it's kind of steady. However, if it goes down more, I am very worried, and I don't think even a positive catalyst like an ETH ETF can withstand that. Essentially, like there are bigger forces at play. Is the point?
That there are much bigger forces at play, and that's a very strong point. So let's say we see a strong correction in Nvidia. You think the cascade effect bleeds into all the way down to our altcoins?
Yes, of course. It's all connected, right? It's the stock markets, and then that affects risk assets. It affects Bitcoin, even though there's no negative catalysts. And well, there were some negative catalysts that people argue was the reason why. But my eyes have been on Nvidia the whole time too. So if it drops even lower, if it makes new all-time highs and then ETH gets an ETF approved, ETH is going to rocket. But it all depends on the broader context that it's a part of.
Okay, so now would you say the way that crypto works a lot of the time, a lot of the experienced traders know that buy the rumors, sell the news is how most big events, big news, big catalysts play out, right? That being said, do you think that the ETH price for the ETF has already been priced in pretty much, and the market has already traded that the ETF trade, if you will?
I'd say no, actually, because there hasn't been a lot of buying the rumor for ETH lately. People are saying usually people buy the rumor, sell the news, but this time no one's really buying the rumor because of other stuff. So I don't necessarily think that it's fully priced in yet, per se.
Okay, fair to say, because here I'm loading up this tweet from Altcoin Jim. And he says ETH ETF hasn't begun trading, and people are already looking for the soul trade. For example, like already moving on from the ETH trade. Markets are forward looking, so naturally already we're looking to what's after soul. So does the market today think Link or Dot? Those sound like good candidates for ETFs if soul is seeing an ETF. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's cope. There's been analysis lately saying that people are too eager to play the rotation game. Like, or not even, rotation is one way to put it, but another way to put it is like, okay, you see a sector leader absolutely destroying in terms of owning, and then you buy the smaller ones thinking it's going to do the same thing. That actually has not worked that well in the crypto space. sector
Right.
leaders often keep on dominating, while the smaller ones, like maybe they get a speculative pump, but they don't nearly run as far and long as the leader.
Fair.
And that's even same in like the stock space. Like just going back to Nvidia freaking like 3x this year or more.
Yeah.
And the other, and people are like, let's buy AMD or let's buy some other AI hardware chips company. It's going to do the
Intel.
same thing.
Right.
They did go up a little bit as the rising tide lifts all ships, but did they rocket as much as Nvidia? No.
Right.
And not only that, in the crypto space, there was like okay, like Unibot. I know Unibot has dropped quite a bit, but yeah, Unibot has dropped quite a bit. But back in the day, people were like, oh, let's buy all those other Telegram bots. They didn't do as well. Yeah. And then there was like the gambling thing, like Rollbit, and no, what was the big crypto casino that was doing so well? Was it Rollbit?
It's Rollbit, man. RLB. RLB.
RLB. Yeah. RLB.
RLB.
And then people
I
were
had a
buying
lot
the
of
other casino coins, crypto casino coins, and they didn't run as much.
No.
So my point is, the rotation game doesn't always work in today's context. Maybe it worked in the past, and that was a great way. Like back in the day when the market was smaller, if you buy a smaller coin in a sector where something is running, then you'll do really, really well. But now that's not so clear of a strategy to be doing, in my honest opinion.
The beta play, right? The beta
Yeah,
play.
the beta play is not always exactly. I don't think it's always going to be the best play these days.
So you're a beta bear. So you don't like it potentially. So all right. Well, with that still being said, if we go ahead and see an Sol ETF approval, which altcoin would you predict is next
after Sol?
Yes.
Maybe AVAX. AVAX they have like connections to the government and things like that too.
Big business connections.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Moving right along. So a little bit more into the crevices of the internet, of the crypto space, our altcoins. I'm not sure if you were big on the pump.fun wave, but pump.fun was actually a huge wave on the Solana ecosystem for meme coins, for altcoins. It makes it so simple that regular users without any coding ability, without any software ability, can actually go ahead and launch their own tokens within a couple seconds, within a couple minutes. So let me actually hop over to pump.fun so everyone can get a view. I believe this actually had a huge role to play on ETH's alt season.
Solana.
On Solana's alt season, sorry.
Yeah.
So if we head over to pump.fun, we can go ahead and see the
Pump.fun freaking made it so that people launch 500,000 freaking coins on Solana.
It's
in like, I forgot what time span, like a month or something, some crazy
For
shit.
example, anytime, can you see my screen right now? Every time you see the screen shake like this, a new token is launched.
Oh my god! Stop launching so many tokens, folks.
Take that in. I've been on this screen for just a few seconds and over 20 memes the market, right? And look at the market cap: 6K, 19K, 10K,
that's
29K.
crazy.
And every time the screen shakes, a new token is coming out.
Casino.
That's pure casino mode. And this touches to another point that I want to get into a little bit later when we're going to talk about celebrity tokens. But it goes to show you how easy it is for anyone to just come on here and make a token. They might chill it to you any which way. But yeah, that goes to show the market appetite and just what's available in the market right now. However,
how much money does it take to even launch one? Is it free or does it take like a little bit of gas? I know they take like
a little gas, right? And as you know, Solana making a token pair on Solana is different than on EVM and on other chains because there's something called an order book, and you'd have to spend sometimes upwards of 2 SOL to get your order book ID to actually create that liquidity pool, whether it be on Radium, whether it be on Jupiter, Meteor, so on and so forth. So there are some costs. So I'm not sure exactly how that works with pump.fun. Could be fun. Maybe in the future stream, the community and us go together and create a token just so they can see how it works and just so you know what to look for and what to sort of avoid. So
Yeah.
I brought this up because, as we mentioned, we go over the biggest highlights of the week. Something that came out over the last week is Dex Screeners pumped out
Roland
fund
says it costs
competitive.
$2.
Boom, to go ahead and make a token on pumped out fund. But it has to actually, I'm not sure if is it the bonding curve? It has to reach the bonding curve before it gets.
It has to reach a certain amount in order for it to get transferred over to Radium.
Exactly.
Yeah, 50K. Market cap reaches 50K, it's put on Radium.
Exactly. 50K, then it hits that bonding curve and that covers that. So again, very simple. You don't have to worry about creating a market ID and doing things so manually like a dev would when creating a meme coin or any coin on pump.fun. So that brings me over to Dex Screener, probably my favorite tool in all of crypto for spotting new alts and just tracking altcoins across literally every single chain. However, this was, I think, was a very smart move because most alt traders go to Dex Screener and they've launched their new competitor to pump.fun called Moonshot. I have some friends who are big on crypto Twitter who've actually been doing quite well on some moonshot plays because, you know, anytime there's a new meta, a new narrative, a new, you know, toy to play with in crypto, a lot of degens rush to it and there's opportunity there, right? So this is Dex Screener's competitor, and as you can see, they don't do the shaking thing, so you can't see exactly how many is being launched all the time, but you can go ahead and see new pairs, and same sort of deal here. Anyone could hop on here, click launch your own token. I believe it costs 0.02 Sol to go ahead and do it. So Kevin, I want to get your take. What's your thoughts on all of this? Personally, I think it saturates the market. However, I want to see what you think about it. Is it good for new users who want to maybe become entrepreneurs in crypto? Now it's easier to do, or
that's a great point. I have two thoughts about that. One, I think this is a really testament to Solana and their UX, like how easy to launch a token. Because I'm kind of deep in the Polkadot space as well, and a lot of people are like, "Why is like Solana getting so much adoption by the retail crowd, by celebs, and everyone's like they're launching their own coins on? It's always Solana that they choose." It's because it's actually really hard to launch a token on Polkadot and other chains, because of how they're designed and things like that.
Right.
So something like pump.fun doesn't really exist, and I'm not sure can really exist in similar formats on other chains. On ETH it can, but the gas fee is a different story. Right. So it's a really testament to like Solana making the right decisions when it comes to architecture, design, etc. But I agree with you. I don't think this is good for the space as a whole. Not anything against people making their own coins for fun or anything, but it's just too much, like too many new coins, like 500,000 new coins. Think about it. Like let's say you discover one early, like a new dog coin or a new cat coin. What money is going to go into that? Like the 18th dog coin, what money is going to go into that? In order to pump it up? Like maybe its ceiling is like 100 mil market cap, but it needs more concentrated attention and liquidity to get to the where you want to be to really be rich, like $1 billion plus, right? So I just don't see like what money there is. There's no like stimulus from like COVID, and there's no like super crazy generational money printing that would give enough money to people to push into the 18th largest cat coin.
Fair to say.
And so, okay, so that is also that it puts a ceiling on how high those can go, but also it's bad for the space because imagine if we didn't have 18 cat coins and we could just focus on like the top, let's say 200 coins or 300 coins, then all of them would have a higher floor. And then Bitcoin even would be way higher than it is now if all the money that went into gambling on these meme coins flooded into Bitcoin instead.
I couldn't have said it any better because a lot of it is liquidity extraction, right? Let's be real. And just the pure volume of how many different tokens there are, as you said, it fragments the liquidity, right, across all of crypto, right? And something the audience probably wants to hear, if you have an answer to this, is how would someone like you, Kevin, identify a Pepe from a pumped up fun garbage coin?
I mean, theoretically, Pepe could come from Pump.fun. I think it just depends on, well, it depends on first having a community behind it, a genuine community that's not just there for the short term and that really believes in it and supports it. And also having creators that are selfless. I don't know if that's the way to put it, because a lot of these celeb coins and meme coins, they're just looking to rug, essentially. They're just looking to get a quick, like, 6 figures or even 5 figures or whatever. They're just looking for a quick rug. So a Pepe's not going to be from that unless they rug and then the community takes over and then lifts it up. Then that could work too. But ultimately, I think it comes from well, I think it has to have a strong differentiating narrative too. Like, it needs to be first in something, or it needs to have a really great meme behind it. If it's just someone making up something that's like, oh, it's a cat with a hat, or like it's like a dog playing.
Yeah, the dog with the hat. Dog with hat. It worked.
It worked. It was the first one too. It was smart. Yeah. It was unique. So, but that's hard to say because there's so much competition. Like, if you had someone who, like, before Whiff really blew up, and you're like, hey, do you think this is going to go to multi-billions? Most people would probably say no. If you had like a gun to their head, they'd say no.
Yeah, so, I actually bought Whiff the day it came out, and I sold it the next day for not
for
like
what,
just
2x.
Just under a 2x, not even. I was like, okay. I made a little pump. Let me get out of here. It's risky.
Yeah.
And then,
but see, that's the thing. Like, if you do that with 99% of these coins, overall, that's probably like a good strategy, because most of them like pump, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to the moon, and then it dumps like 90%. I'm like, I should have sold. That always happens. That always happens. So it's hard to say. I mean, that's why some people say to keep a moon bag. It's a good strategy, but taking profit relentlessly on these are a good idea.
Yeah, that was definitely the play to leave a moon bag for. I just dumped and didn't think twice of it. And then a week later, I'm like, Whiff, how am I seeing this again? A month later. And then that one still hurts. That one still hurts, because even that moon bag being left in, even that last little, let's say 10, 11% would have would have outperformed my entire portfolio by huge multiples. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. The meme coin game is always risky. You hear a lot of different creators and influencers try to give you the sauce on how to trade the meme game. I believe there's no real sauce to it. Even some of the most promising ones don't pan out, and some of the ones you don't expect, like Whiff, end up being the biggest in the game. So I mean, always be careful trading memes. All right. So that being said, what's your final take on what's the state of the meme coin market? You have celebrity tokens, you have these pump fund tokens, now you have moonshot tokens, very saturated space, few and far between, but still many are saying the meme coins sector is still the strongest sector for altcoins, period. So what do you think is the current state of the meme coin market? Is there still upside? Have we topped? What's your take on that?
So one of the best charting analysts on crypto Twitter is Don Alt. He's the duck. And he called for the meme coin sector top like a month ago. And people are going crazy in his comments, hating him for it. Since then, meme coins have corrected. Since then, meme coins have corrected quite a bit. He also posted about Bitcoin, but that's not the one. I don't know. He posts a ton, so it's probably hard for you to find.
Right.
But he said the meme coin sector has topped, and I do agree with him. There's just too much. There's just too many meme coins coming out, and the people who invest in the meme, or who trade. Let me use the word trade instead. The people who trade the meme coin space, they're looking to rotate aggressively. They're looking to get into new meme coins early, new celeb coins early. So think about that, right? Like, let's say you have a huge bag of WIF, Bonk, Pepe, whatever. Let's say you have all those big ones, and you see new opportunities daily, weekly, whatever.
Yeah,
You're taking some of those profits, you're selling some of those to put into other bags.
that's right.
So if that's the case, and people are not really that like loyal, maybe loyal is not the right word, that like diamond handed towards their bags on the biggest meme coins, how are this going to go up further unless you get brand new retail money, brand new investors that come in that haven't ever touched meme coin before, and that now all of a sudden they want to buy like WIF or Bonk or Pepe or whatever, then it's not gonna it can't go higher.
Fair to say.
Unless we have some crazy risk assets catalyst for risk assets to pump, like rate cut earlier than expected, more than expected, things like that, then of course I think all coins will rocket. All coins across the board, not selective.
Fair to say. And that actually almost goes a little bit hand in hand, a little bit in the same sort of neighborhood as celebrity tokens. So as you saw in the last week or two, or I guess in the last month, you see a lot of celebrity tokens pop off, of course, with Iggy Azalea leading the charge with Mother. And then you have Lil Pump come in with his forehead tattoo. And then you see more and more influencers. Ryan Garcia tweeted to tease that he's coming out with a coin. You got Waka Flocka Flame. He actually was just on Altcoin Daily for an interview. I'm not sure if you saw that. But they had Waka Flocka up. If you can see here, confronting Waka Flocka Flame. So he actually got in there. He doesn't have audio. Pause that. I can pull that up. But you see Waka Flocka Flame shilling his coin, all these different celebrities, Barron Trump, potentially, DJT, we're going to see what's going on with that. What do you think is the state of the celebrity tokens? Has that topped? Do you think these celebrities are going to keep on building? Is it bad for the space, or is it something that's positive and going to lead to more adoption?
Most of them are rugs. Like I forgot who it was, but there was a celebrity that tweeted about a coin and then it rugged like one day later and he deleted all posts. That happens so much. And they're going to get in trouble for it too. They think that deleting the posts deletes the evidence, but crypto Twitter remembers. Everything. And if you remember, like the SEC went after like Kim Kardashian for Ethereum Max. Good. Floyd Mayweather did some rugs. I don't know. Anyways, some of them are going to get in legal trouble for sure. And they're going to have to pay back all their gains plus interest or whatnot.
Yeah. Plus
fines, penalties.
Yeah, personally, I don't like it.
So I personally wouldn't touch it. It does look like Iggy Azalea is really dedicated so far, but we'll see about long term. I want to see long term, like over a year, because Steve Aoki was big in NFTs, Gary Vee. Other ones seemed like they were in here for the long haul, but eventually they got bored or the market dropped and they stopped carrying and whatnot.
Gary V. Yes, he had V Friends, the V Friends NFT.
Exactly.
I mean, that had a huge wave back in the day, back in the OG NFT days, and he was a huge advocate for the NFT space. Oh, Mother is down under 100 mil market cap, 60 M.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no matter how much Iggy tries, and I think she's trying hard, like there's market forces that play too. Right. So wow, it's down quite a bit.
It is.
Damn. I hope it doesn't completely rug.
I really do too, because she seemed like the one real one. I feel like sort of everyone on CT was kind of rooting for Iggy to be, that genuine crypto advocate, making a real community and kind of changing the name for celebrity tokens. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, like you said, so many of them rug, so many of them, manipulate the price of their token. Like Flocka, he actually got interviewed on that Altcoin Daily episode, and he was straight up asked, so somebody bought 40% of the supply right when the token launched. Was it you? And then, he said yes. He's like, yes, it was me, but like, I'm doing this so that other snipers don't come in and do that and then wreck my community. So I'm doing that, and I'm not going to sell. Do you buy into that when, celebrities or figureheads say they're not going to sell? What do you think that
No,
does?
heck no. They're gonna sell it when they want.
Yeah. That's interesting. All right. And then I'm not sure if you're familiar with market makers in the meme space. That's one thing I kind of forgot to touch on very briefly. I want to pop open this tweet and get your take. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with market makers. The most popular and prominent one probably being GotBit hedge fund, right? Have you ever heard of GotBit, Kevin?
I have not.
GotBit hedge fund. So they're a market maker. Their claim to fame was working with Bonk.
Okay.
Not saying that they're behind Bonk's success, but since then, since Bonk's initial pump on from this current cycle, like when Bonk first went crazy, they were like, yes, that was, we had a huge role to play, so on and so forth. And they're the market makers for all these meme coins. So a lot of meme coins started flooding to GotBit, and they would charge them, so on and so forth. I'm not sure with some of these deals. So long story short, market making means the project will actually give GotBit or whatever market maker funds to buy and sell the token and do something sort of called chart drawing, right? Which to me sounds a little bit like market manipulation. So one of the biggest memes in the last couple of days was Water. I'm not sure if you heard about Water, but they worked with GotBit hedge fund. And I just want to go to one specific tweet here that had CT like pretty much outraged.
Down number four.
Number
yeah.
4. Yes, exactly. You've seen it. So you've seen it. So yes, the task of market making is to protect investors from volatility. The large Water community could have mistakenly bought the token at a 1 billion FDV before pre-sale investors receive their tokens, potentially facing a negative 90% loss afterwards. So they said to protect the community, they lowered the price.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like, read this last sentence.
That is crazy. That is crazy, folks. They're like, we dumped to protect you guys, just don't dump in the first place.
And get this, they dumped over $2 million worth of the token to get sold, right? And these tokens that were dumped, they weren't ever bought from the spot market. They weren't bought from the LP. It was given to them by the team for their market making services, if you will, right? And so then it's like, okay, well, what are you guys going to do with the $2 million, right?
What a joke. What a joke. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to get your take on that.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that? Market makers. I'm not sure if you've ever worked with watched the market maker.
Some people actually say that market makers are a big reason for the successful coins, for the reason behind the success of various meme coins. I don't know how true or false that is, but maybe we should make a video on that actually about market makers.
I think it's worthwhile.
The secret masterminds behind successful coins.
The secret masterminds.
Adrian, I know you're watching. Maybe we should write this down. Yeah, market makers may be a good one to make it about, because they are kind of behind the scenes, and people are always wondering, like, why do certain meme coins do well versus others?
Like we were
one
saying.
Theory is that it's big market makers manipulating it so that it does well.
Yes. And just for a little bit of disclosure, I was out in Dubai and I met some of the members actually of that market maker that I showed earlier. And
so maybe you should ask them what coins they're pumping next.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of dumping like water.
Yeah, instead of dumping like water. But it's kind of been a little bit of a death kiss. They had a lot of clout going for them around bonk time, right? And then a few tokens came out afterward that they were part of that actually did quite well. And they explained it, like you said, we're the reason behind a lot of these meme coin pumps. We're the reason behind bonk's success. They tried to even claim, or at least they'll throw in to their resume, right? So anyway, long story short, I got a chance to chop it up with one of them, and as you said, what they do is they'll typically buy and sell a token to draw patterns on the chart, and then they would kind of also cross that with, let's say, influencers, analysts doing charting analytics along with their marketing material and promo to kind of make people FOMO in. Do you think that's a little bit manipulative, shady? Do you trust that, or do you think that
I think it's okay. I mean, you should just expect that to happen for every coin. The ones who don't have that are probably at a disadvantage. However, I think there's a concept of a crowded trade, right? Like once everyone thinks that Gotbit has the Midas touch and starts aping into their coins, it's no longer going to work, and their coins are going to underperform. So maybe I don't know, maybe they caught lightning in a bottle with Bonk. Maybe everything was right. All the situation context around it was right. But now I'd be surprised if they're able to pull that off again.
Right.
They need everything to be aligned, the stars aligned per se.
Right. And I agree, especially as long as they keep protecting the community by dumping the token above 1B. I think it's just straight to the moon from there. I'm just kidding. The meme game, I just take it as a pure gamble. I wouldn't take any of these market makers as like, oh, this is a guaranteed play. I'm aping in here. Just thought it was an interesting thing to look at and for users to sort of be aware of, because most regular users don't know that there are these, secret market making whales behind the scenes, sort of manipulating the price and playing with the price. So just thought it's something that you guys should all be aware of and cognizant of.
Oh, this happened recently too. This week, the Jump Crypto president steps down after 6 years. They're behind a lot of things in the Solana ecosystem. They're behind Wormhole, and
really?
And he stepped down. Kanav Korea, I think I pronounced his name correctly. Yeah, and people are speculating that Jump Crypto is done for, and if that's the case, I think that's bad for the projects associated with them.
That's very interesting. Do you have did you send me something in the private I can pull up?
I can just send you the headline.
Yeah,
or you can just Google it, I guess.
I didn't know about that. Yeah, I could just toss it up on Google.
Just say Jump Crypto Kanav, Kanav. And there's going to be some headlines for sure.
All right. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, Jump Crypto is, the 4 days ago, that one.
Yeah, from CoinDesk here. I'm just getting a lot of issues here on my connection. Pardon there. All right. So Kanav Korea, who ascended from intern to the head of cryptocurrencies at Chicago-based trading heavyweight Jump Trading by the age of 25, has left the company. So he was the head of cryptocurrency at Jump Trading. And is there any why he would have left? Was there any like direct FUD or anything that had come out directly?
Yeah, I think they were investigating Jump. Let me see. Jump Crypto investigation. Yeah, the CFTC was probing Jump Crypto for their involvement with like Terra Luna and other stuff. Yeah, so I think there was a lot of pressure, and if I'm not mistaken, they held a lot of crypto too. So some people were saying that Jump Crypto was quietly liquidating their crypto portfolio, which caused a big Bitcoin dump. I think it was because of NVIDIA. Other people said it was because Germany was selling their Bitcoins or Mt. Gox news, things like that. But yeah, I think this is, depending on what happens with Jump Crypto, I think this is bearish for all the projects in their orbit, like Wormhole, Fire Dancer, which is a Solana client, etc.
Okay. Wormhole has had a tough time. Has been an absolute struggle. People who sold off the airdrop on day one were the winners. But yeah, it's been tough. One thing I've noticed historically with these resignations and these large crypto companies is a lot of the time, if we're looking historically, it precedes like pretty much a black swan event, right? You saw how many people were heading for the door at FTX, before everything came crashing down. Even the same thing with Binance before they went ahead and were under scrutiny by the SEC and our guy CZ getting locked up. Right, you see a lot of executives and a lot of members of the company exiting, and so Kanav, who was the head of crypto, the president of Jump Crypto, leaving is a little bit of I guess a concern when you look at Jump Crypto and just the influence that they have on the market. I wouldn't say they're like on the same level, of course, as like an FTX or a Binance, but it's not a good look. And like you said, it's something that's bearish for their ecosystem and even a little bit for alts because Jump Crypto is so big. Wormhole,
Yeah,
is huge,
exactly.
right?
Speaking of which, this kind of flew under the radar, but Ryan Salami, I don't know if y'all remember him. He's former FTX executive. He wasn't at the top with like SBF, Caroline, Sam Trabucco, etc.
Yeah.
He wasn't at the top, but he was like a big executive. He got sentenced to 90 months in prison. So that kind of flew under the radar. This happened like last month in late May. And I remember he was tweeting like, how did I get sentenced for so long? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. He was being very defiant on Twitter. He hasn't gone into prison yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. A lot of these resignations and stuff precede big
black
issues.
swan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've noticed a lot of the time. Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. Is CZ still locked up?
He is, but he's only for 4 months, so he got off really easy.
Only there for 4 months, and he's actually the richest man in U.S. history to ever go to jail, which was funny. I read, and something like his net worth, I think, more than 3x or something while he was in jail too. So yeah, shout out to our boy CZ, free CZ. Do we want to take any community comments? Do we have any projects that they want us to take a look at?
Yeah, if you look in the comments things, let's see if there's any interesting ones.
VIX hitting bottom, major headwinds.
Let's see if there's any interesting one.
ETH L2s.
ETH L2s also benefit from ETH ETF. Maybe for people who want some ETH beta, I could see that being possible.
Yes, I think
AIT protocol. Vinayak wants us to check out AIT protocol.
AIT protocol. Right,
I've heard of that before, but let's see what this is.
Oh, I was thinking AIG, IGOS, but AIT I haven't heard of before.
Wow, this is a microcap now. 16 million on Ethereum.
Are you on CoinMarketCap?
Yeah, I was on CoinMarketCap. Oh, it was one of these websites. I can't really.
AIT protocol, market cap at 16 million, 300K in volume over the last 24 hours, and circulating supply. That's one of my favorite things to always look at, as you know, is 161 million AIT to total supply 300. So over half of the supply in circulation. It looks like. So AI narrative, I'm always bullish on. This looks like you said, a very small cap, micro cap. We can hop over to their website and see what's going on here.
Their website's one of those websites where they make it really hard for you to even get into it. Yeah.
Without connecting?
They just make it like super animated and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have to like click into it and stuff.
Some cool little effects here. Like black hole.
Oh, it's related to BitTensor too.
Is it?
If you click Embrace the Future.
AIT.
No, it's the button on the left. Yeah, Embrace the Future. And then click Open App.
Oh, right.
And then on the left side, you'll see, you can.
BitTensor.
I guess it's
Interesting. So is that
related. It's like maybe building a subnet on BitTensor. I'm not sure.
maybe a subnet? I'm not sure if they're directly actually like, let's say, partnered with BitTensor to any degree. Actually, close this. Seems they had or have an IDO. What are your thoughts, Kevin? What do you think of AIT so far? I like the Tau and the AI and the deepen narrative.
Narrative is strong, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the rest of the market. This could be, as long as it's not like a rug pull scam, just purely based
Yeah,
on narrative and sector, it could be a good bet. I wouldn't put like all my eggs in this basket. I'm not in love with it because
right.
I'm not sure it does anything like that interesting, to be honest. But it could
Right.
be a good like basket play if you want to get some AI exposure and whatnot.
It seems so. I mean, they're
Oh,
backed by
Animoca,
Animoca. That's what I
yeah,
was saying. They're
Animoca
backed by
brand.
Animoca, which
That is
gives it
promising.
that gives it a layer of credibility for sure.
Exactly.
So Animoca brands, I'm seeing Beefy Labs or Beefy. I'm not sure if that was directly related, and I'm seeing BitTensor. So one thing I always like to look at when I'm taking a look at new projects are those partnerships and are some of those ties as well, because that like I said, it gives you credibility. I'm like, okay, they're building something here. It's legit. As you said, it's not just like a pure rug. With Animoca involved, with BitTensor involved, then I would look further just in case
They
anyone wants.
are, yeah, they are building a subnet on BitTensor. I just found it. It's called the Einstein AIT
Okay,
subnet on BitTensor.
I actually think there could be potential here at this low MC and with more than half of the supply circulating. I assume a big part of that lock supply is going to Animoca. I would assume, but it looks solid. I mean, 19,000 holders, just under 20,000 holders isn't bad. 3.4 mil in TVL for their staking protocol. This is definitely something when we hop off the live, I'll take a second look at and potentially add it to my AI basket. Like you said, wouldn't ape the whole stack, but if you need a little bit more high risk
Yeah, high risk
exposure,
AI
high
play.
risk
Exactly.
exposure exactly to AI, then I would throw in like a cool 2%, 1.5%. Usually brand new alts, I don't go more than 3%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
There's
very cool.
another
Thank
one
you
they
for
want to
sharing
check
that.
out. Spectral token on base. They say it's also AI.
Spectral token on base. Let's take a look.
Spectral. I'm not seeing it. Gar. Spectral
Spectra.
token.
I see Spectra
Spectral.
base.
No, it's spectral.
Okay.
But is it even have a token yet? It's spectrallabs.xyz. Claim airdrop. Syntax. It's backed by General Catalyst, Samsung, Google, Social Capital, Franklin Templeton, Polychain. Dang, they got some big backers.
Damn.
Claim airdrop, but do they even have a token yet is a question. Spectral token on base chain, symbol spec. Really? Wait,
Spec.
how do we see
I can look on Dex.
yeah, is it on Dex Screener?
Here, I'll go ahead and share the screen. Let's look together. So ticker symbol is spec and it's on base. Yep, I see it right here. Spectral token.
Okay, let's see.
At $6, it has a $69 million market cap, which is weird because the FDV says 14.2.
Spectral token on base. Okay.
My laptop is dying. I gotta plug in my laptop. This chart looks funky. Hold on, let's go to.
Oh, you gotta just ignore the first day essentially, and you'll see.
Yeah.
Like zoom out, but ignore the first day.
Let's go on the. You said you want the daily time frame?
I'm on the 1 hour time frame, but I just
I'm on the
zoomed
1 hour
out.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the 1 hour right now. Let me actually pop over to the day for a second to see there. Oh, well, okay, you can't really gauge their all-time high. It was just like kind of
Yeah,
liquidity.
just zoom in so
Liquidity
you
at-
block out the first day and you'll see a better chart. Or I guess
We can go on on like a lower time frame.
Exactly.
I actually have to go back to the hour here. All right.
Okay, now just zoom in a little bit so you.
Cool. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Looks like yeah, they're about a little more than a 2x from their all-time high. Market cap at 69 million. I have to take a closer look. Like for me to buy brand new tokens I just discovered at high market caps, like it has to really be right. You said they were backed by Samsung?
This is not bad. I think this might be more interesting for me than the other one, to be honest.
Than AIT?
AIT, yeah.
So they didn't pay the fee on Dex Screener to have their little banner up with all the direct links, but looks like we can get to.
But how come they don't have this like token listed on their site though? Claim
It's
airdrop.
Super weird. Claim airdrop launch app, but the thing is, look at all these backers. Damn.
Yeah, those are impressive
project.
backers.
Polychain, Google. They raised from Google, Samsung, Circle. So yeah, Jump Capital. Like they definitely have endless resources. Definitely have huge funding.
69 million. Can it get to 690 million?
Yeah, that's the
could
question.
Potentially, but what's the rest of their tokenomics details? Like, can we tell somehow?
I'm trying to see because it says, navigate and create autonomous agents with syntax. Syntax takes natural language and converts it into Solidity code, enabling you to ship production grade smart contracts, arbitrage agents, NFTs, rollups, and more. That sounds fire. Okay, I can't lie to you. That sounds fire to me. Someone who likes to build in crypto. If it works as it's saying, then I believe that's actually this could actually be a banger, even from just a use case perspective. So if regular users can hop on, convert regular language, like you're talking to ChatGPT, probably leverages maybe some OpenAI, models, AI models, but it's curated for Solidity code. Production grade, they're promising production grade smart contracts, arbitrage agents, NFTs, and rollups, entire rollups, so entire chains, L2s, right, and more. Not sure if this is live now, but it seems Syntax is their main. Okay, you have to sign up with Google or Twitter, but it seems like Syntax is their main. Yeah, I didn't bother. But it seems like Syntax is their main product here. And if Syntax works as they're saying, this is a very simple but smart project, like from the creator standpoint. I like what they did here.
I do too, but right now I'm reading. Yeah, I'm reading their white paper. There's a section on the token economy. It does not tell me anything about how much token is total supply and what's the circulating thing. My fear is that it's one of those things where they like only release 10% and have a fuck ton of supply inflation.
Right.
It doesn't tell me. I need to know like basics. It doesn't.
You nailed it, Kevin. You nailed it to me, because when you see that, along with on their website, all of these backers, obviously, yes, it's great that they have super reputable funding from good backers. But when you don't see, as you said, the supply inflation, the unlock schedules, that's like one of my main red flags, because as great as the product is, these venture capital firms are still going to want to take profit, right?
Yeah, you don't want it to be another wormhole.
You don't want to be another wormhole, another dimension. You don't want to fall victim to a VC sort of cabal tokenomic scheme that we've been seeing a lot in this cycle. Sadly, I feel like a lot of entire ecosystems and tokens haven't had the run that their token or that their tech actually merits because of this very thing. And so when you can't see the unlock schedule, that's definitely something that that I'd be wary of. Also, be wary. Don't do what I just did. You saw I just connected my Twitter to go ahead and do this. Always go ahead and do your research and make sure it's from reputable sources, that you're getting the right links, so on and so forth.
Can you click on explore? Oh, no, that's not for itself. That's for other on-chain stuff.
Okay, but yeah, Moonmaker. This is, to me, this is still interesting. Although I may not hold the token, this is something that's interesting to me. Just their product itself. So it's claiming I can make NFTs, smart contracts, the whole 9 yards, maybe even DApps without any coding knowledge. And to me, it's like a more advanced version of something like a pumped out fund or a moonshot, because you can make a little bit more of a sophisticated product here. So that whole narrative I've always been bullish on, sort of a B2B product that can help builders and entrepreneurs really create things and flourish. I think that's going to be a huge market, especially when we get more retail coming into crypto. It's not just going to be investors. There's, business-minded people, entrepreneurs who are going to want to come into crypto and create things. Things like this, I believe, have merit. So just like Kevin said, once I see that unlock schedule, if it's reasonable, something I would definitely look at, or maybe even ape in here and there. But yeah, thank you for that. I'm not sure who made that shout in the comments, but thank you for sharing that. Definitely something that's interesting.
For sure. All right. This is a great stream. Thank you for leading today. Want to wrap us up?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to my very first live stream leading. Thank you, Kevin. Had a ton of fun. If you're new here, be sure you subscribe, because we're bringing you these live streams every Friday, covering the most important things
every
going
Friday,
on.
Same time. Don't miss it, guys.
Same time, same place. Don't miss it. Catch you next Friday. Until next time.
All right. You need to press the end stream button.